are not going anywhere. All right, so let's go ahead and take a comfortable seat together. So finding the support beneath you. Lengthen your spine up towards the sky. And go ahead and begin to drop into your breathing. And you're welcome to turn that into your Ujjayi breathing with the tip of the tongue behind the upper two teeth, a hollowness at the back of the throat. And making the breath smooth. Smooth and balanced. And this is a poem by David White called Santiago. The road seen, then not seen. The hillside hiding, then revealing the way you should take. The road dropping away from you as if leaving you to walk on thin air, and then catching you, holding you up when you thought you would fall. And the way forward, always in the end, the way that you came, the way that you followed, the way that carried you into your future, that brought you to this place, no matter that it sometimes took your promise from you, no matter that it always had to break your heart along the way. The sense of having walked from far inside yourself out into the revelation, to have risked yourself for something that seemed to stand both inside you and far beyond you. Releasing any control on your breath. bringing your hands together in front of your heart. I'll chant the sound of Om and sing Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Take a Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. And with your next exhale, you can bow your head towards your heart. Release your hands and lift your gaze. All right, let's continue opening the body. Let's start though with a little Kalabati breathing. That breathing that was about the bellows, the pumping of the diaphragm, the solar plexus. Does anybody have a question? We've been doing this breath a little bit. We'll do a round. We'll do 3 rounds, and each round it'll be about 20 to 30 breaths in each round. These are those rapid exhales out the nose. So sometimes people like putting one hand here so that they know this is where the pumping's coming from. So you're welcome to do that. You can close your eyes. Inhale through both nostrils. Exhale out both nostrils. A partial inhale. And then exhale completely. Inhale and suspend the inhale. As you suspend the inhale, draw the belly up and in. You'll feel the breath move up into the chest. Let this happen. Then exhale completely. Inhale deeply through both nostrils. Exhale. Partial inhale. Exhale completely. Inhale. Hold the inhale. Exhale when you're ready. One more round. Inhale through both nostrils. Exhale. Partial inhale. Exhale completely. Inhale, suspend. Exhale when you're ready. And just breathing whatever the body wants to do. Okay, great. Very good. All right. So now let's go ahead. Inhale, lift your left arm. Exhale, side bend. So you might walk the right hand out, reach out, lengthening back through the left sit bone, broadening through the side body. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Second side, inhale, lift. And the exhale, side bending. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Inhale, take both arms out. Exhale, twist to the right. So the right hand might come behind you. Another deep inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, the arms halfway. Exhale, rotating, turning. And a deep inhale in the twist. And your exhale, come back to center again. Great. All right, let's go ahead and come up to standing. So I'm going to move my blankets out of the way for right now anyway. And let's take a strap. We're going to do a shoulder opener. We'll use a strap this time. So we'll take the strap. All right. Let's inhale, lift the arms halfway when you're ready. And we'll inhale, take the arms all the way up. Exhale, go wider. And your next exhale, go ahead and bend your elbows. Let's have the elbows about the height of the shoulders though. So we won't take them down because then it's a little bit harder to open through the front of the chest. We're going to keep the elbows about the height of the shoulders. All right, so a little tone in the deep belly. See if you can you access that transversus abdominis, that deepest abdominal layer in standing. And when you do, can you notice anything that happens at the back of the sacrum? When you have that deep abdominal tone, keep that tone. And as you exhale, can you lift through the top of the breastbone while still keeping the tone in the low belly? And then start to take the wrists back. Top of the breastbone lifts, tone in the low belly. All at the same moment. Okay, so from the breastbone, rolling that soft tissue all the way up towards the collarbones and the arm bones. Good, and then we're gonna inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, bring them forward and down. Great. We'll sit the strap off to the side. Grab your blocks. All right. And then let's go ahead and step the feet wide apart. We'll step the feet wide apart. We're going to turn your feet to your right and take a block at your right outer shin. Put my other block there. We're going towards side angle pose. So let's inhale, take the arms up. And exhale, side angle. So what happens when you reach all the way into the back heel? Yeah, so you've got the weight balanced as it moves through the hips here. And keep reaching back and toward the back heel. Almost as if you're transferring a little weight from the front hip and a little weight back through the pelvis all the way to the back leg. Inhale, come up. And let's take the other side. The inhale, the arms go out. And your exhale, side angle, Parsvakonasana. Again, reaching into the outer heel. Can you breathe all the way into that sky side of your rib cage, especially at the back ribs? And then we'll inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Let's make the feet parallel. Let's take hands on the hips. Hands at the back of the pelvis. Can you feel that whole crest of your pelvis? So you get that sense. Just palpate around the crest a little bit, the crest of the pelvis. You can feel how the thickness, the crest of the pelvis. And then we'll rest the hands on the pelvic crest. Lift through the top of the breastbone. And maybe we'll lift the gaze a little. Reach into your feet. And exhale, start to bow forward. Here we go. And then hands will come either to blocks or to the ground. Let's walk the hands out to be downward dog shape arms. Again, the hands can be on blocks or maybe you're up on your finger pads. So you might notice like the crest of the pelvis that you were just palpating. Do you feel that sort of beginning to turn a little more into your body. How that relates to that upper ramus from the pubic bone. So you feel that come deep into the body, that area right above the pubic bones. We're going to walk the hands back so that the wrists are under your shoulders. And again, hands can be on blocks or the floor. And let's take your right hand into the space between the two hands. Reach into the ground. Reach from the inner knees all the way to the heels. Lengthen through the crown of your skull. And you're going to take your left arm with the breastbone at the same time they're turning. So rib cage is turning. Reaching down into that hand. Maybe there's more space. Exhale, we'll come back to center. We're going to switch hands. Left hand's at the midline. I'm going to strongly reach into my left hand. I'm going to reach from the inner knees to the heels. Pressing down and begin turning towards your right. Keep reaching strongly down. And we'll exhale, come back to center. Now walk the hands back, so they're going to go to the space almost between your feet. And completely release. Release your head. Release the whole, there's this whole turning in. So let the lower ribs turn in, the heart turn down. Then let's walk the hands back out. So they'll be underneath the shoulders. And then we're going to switch them up to the hips. And inhale, come back up. Great. And then we'll step the feet back together. Mountain pose. All right, great. And then we'll relax that. Let's bring your blocks to the top of your mat. I'll go sideways and come up to standing. Inhale, lift both arms. Exhale, forward fold. So there's that turning in and down again. Let's have the legs straight, please. With your next inhale, go up halfway. And exhale, let's step your right foot back. So we're in a lunge. A lunge with our hands on blocks or the floor. The back heel lifted. And then noticing what happens when you press into the front heel. Tone the back inner thigh into that inseam of the right leg. And we'll come upright. Then we'll inhale the arms back out. And exhale. bow forward. There's the heart turning down and in. Inhale, step forward. Exhale, take the left leg back. So in your lunge, can you pick up your back heel, make the back heel more vertical, to notice how that correlates to the front of that hip joint. And pressing down into your front heel. And when you're ready, you start to transition. Arms go wide. And then lifting the heart, top of the breastbone, gaze. At least, can you bring the gaze straight ahead? Let's inhale, lift the arms up by the ears. Inhale, take them wide. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, step forward. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale your hands back in front of your heart. And then releasing both arms. All right, so let's take your hands for a moment and take it to, let's find the collarbone on one side, whichever, take the opposite hand, and just palpate a little bit. Let's go to that top of the breastbone for a moment. Feel the top, so there's that little notch at the top of the breastbone. So we know where that notch is. We're gonna go right below that notch, palpate that manubrium. You can even tap on it a little. So sometimes people tap here, thymus gland, above the heart. Immunity. So I'm just kind of going, I'm tapping right on that bone. All right. Feels good. Okay, then go ahead and walk a little bit across. So feel the collarbone. Feel that collarbone, feel it come all the way out, and it comes over to the flat upper shelf, the acromion of the shoulder blade, that top flat acromion. Okay, I'm gonna walk back. And I'm also gonna come to where the collarbone and that, the manubrium join. There's a joint, sternoclavicular joint. Let's take the arm, let's keep my hand there. You got your hand right at the collarbone area, and you're gonna take your arm out. So you feel something happen there. When the arm goes out, feel that joint moving, right where the collarbone joins the manubrium. And then with your arm out this time, roll the arm up. So you're taking the arm bone and everything, rolling it up. Feel what the collarbone does. I roll it down, I roll it up. So I feel this action. Oh, okay. That's happening at the sternoclavicular joint. And then we're gonna lower that arm. Let's let both arms dangle. Let's just kind of notice, like, just with my palpating and walking across there, what has that done? How does it feel different from the other side? And then let's do the other side. Let's take the hand to where that other collarbone comes and joins the breastbone. So I get a sense of that. I'm gonna take the arm up, palm towards the floor. And then I'm gonna rotate my whole arm And do these little, I'm gonna go all the way back, all the way up, so I can feel different side. Feel that movement. Oh, let's bring the arm back down. Let's walk out to that acromion process, that plateau of the shoulder blade. Maybe one side, this side for me really, oh, it was moving a lot differently than my other side. So that's interesting. That tells me I have a little different, and I'm not surprised. I need to make some space up under that collarbone, I can tell. This is good to know. And then I'm going to, so I did this motion so I could feel the collarbone rolling. And then I'm going to drop my arm and walk back. And I'm still on that same collarbone. And I'm going to walk, I'm going to go right below the collarbone. Close into the midline of my body. I'm going to go really close in right there. And right there I'm on rib, right under it, just barely under the collarbone. I know I'm on my first rib. Then I'm going to go up above my collarbone. And I'm on probably, well, there's a lot of musculature right there. But right down in there is going to be where rib 1 comes across and around. Rib 1. So rib 1 and 2 coming, they're right underneath this collarbone, and they're coming across and around. So just get a sense of that space in you for this opening that we keep working with a little bit of opening and twisting in the upper back spine, thoracic spine. Okay, and then let's take both hands. So we gotta walk across those collarbones. And we find the manubrium again. Okay, and we're walking down along the breastbone and we're rubbing it a little, right? Like if you took, CPR. Hello, Annie, are you awake? Are you there? A lot of fascia right there it can be very tender. And I can feel all the way down in the lower ribs, all along that lower costal rib. So getting the sense of my lower ribs in the front. And I might even get a sense of the back body. I've got these floating ribs though that are a little buried. So I know I can't actually touch them. They're a little buried in there. I'm gonna remember that. And then I kind of back down to the pelvis. Oh yeah. Palpating that. I'm just kind of waking myself up here. Okay. Got this idea now. All right. So let's take your strap again and let's make a loop in your strap. Let's see here what's going on. And the size of the loop is going to be a little narrower than your arm bone width. All right. Okay. So we've got that. It's smaller than my arms are wide. And I'm going to put it behind me. Palms inside the strap. Palms are facing each other in the strap. And the strap I've got around my wrists. So can you go to that upper breastbone manubrium? Can you go under that bone and can you lift the bone up? Yes. Good. Okay, so, and then let's just take, so the arms are not externally rotating here. No, they're not, we're not pulling the arms back tightly right now. We're broadening across the shoulder blades as well. I'm not squeezing my shoulder blades together, lifting at the top of the breastbone, and then I'm reaching the hands back. Lifting at the top of the breastbone, bending the elbows a little can be helpful. Reaching back strongly. Oh, oh yes, I could lift a little bit more. I didn't realize. Base of the skull is long. And then we're going to release. We'll sit the strap. Well, let's use the strap. Let's take the loop. Let's make it a little bit bigger. We'll make it slightly bigger. Okay. And then let me turn this down so you'll be able to see my legs. Okay. We're going to take revolved side angle. I'm going to sit my blocks here. And let's take the strap. I can show it to you first if that's helpful. I'm going to take it around my left leg and my right arm. I'm going to make my strap a little smaller. All right. So it's going to be below the knee and right about the height of my elbow. Hand is on a block. And I can tell you, I even want it to be a little smaller, more snug. Yeah, more snug like that. Back heel's lifted. I'm going to take left hand on my hip. Rotate. I'm going to really need the right inner thigh, the back leg, inner thigh to be toned to the inseam of the leg. I might add the arm. Okay. So let's do it. So let's have you put your strap around your left leg. So you'll step into the strap with the left leg. And then you're going to put right arm is going to go through the strap. Step your right foot back and have the back heel lifted. So you can have both hands on blocks right now. The strap is below the left knee, and it depends on the length of your arm. It's either, right about at the elbow, a little below, maybe a little above. It depends how long your arms are. I've got my right hand on a block. Back right heel is lifted. Tone right, especially above the right knee. The adductor to the inseam, both the front of the adductor to the inseam, if you remember when we were working on that, back of that adductor to the inseam, so you feel the whole back leg like there's a seam coming up the middle. And then take your left hand on your hip. Keep the back leg toned as you rotate towards your left. Okay, and then if you want, take the left arm alongside your left ear. Exhale, come back to center. Take the right arm out of the strap. Move the block. Step forward. And we're going to change legs. So you could step out of your strap on your left, step into it on the right. Tail out of the way. Okay, so move it up to be right below the knee. Left arm comes in. Both hands can be on blocks. Step the left foot back. Back heel's lifted. And then toning at the back inner thigh to the inseam of the whole left inner leg. Right hand on the hip. So I could keeping this steady in the lower body, I could begin to broaden across from the manubrium or the breastbone over towards the right arm, collarbone. Then you might take the right arm and bring it alongside the right ear. Breathing. Releasing. Great. Let this, you can start to step forward, move your block, take the arm out, take the strap off your foot, set it off to the side, and bow forward in Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. One more time. Inhale, halfway. And with your next exhale, we can use our blocks to step back to downward facing dog. We could have the blocks at the medium height and reach back. So here, the collarbones come more vertical. You feel the collarbones take more of a V shape. And inhale, let's come forward to plank for just a moment. Exhale, lower both knees. Great. And then just come back to sitting. Good. All right. Let's take our blocks. Let's do an opening of our upper back. So if you'll bring your blocks end to end on your mat, and you'll take one of your blankets across those blocks. Like that. And again, this blanket is a little wider than some people's blankets. I want to have there be either a little extra blanket that rolls on the head side, or I could take a pillow. You might have a pillow, or you might have, another blanket that can support the head, so that when you come back, you're going to put the shoulder blades on those blocks, hands behind your head, and don't rush it. When you're coming up and over, try not to let the lower rib cage shoot up to the ceiling. Not in any hurry. And if you want to keep your hands on your head the whole time, please do. Otherwise, if you decide not to keep your hands on your head because your neck feels fine, take the arms overhead, palms up towards the ceiling, and maybe even a little wider the hands. And then go to the manubrium. Let it roll up. Jackie wants to remind us to roll up ribs 1 and 2. And you know, we might notice, oh, that works so much better on one side than the other. Okay, so you put your felt sense into the side that maybe doesn't want to roll up as easily, and you place it there and see if you can encourage that to happen. All right, and then we're going to bend the elbows if the arms are straight. Put them back behind the head. Lift the chin to the chest. Straighten one leg and maybe reach yourself back up to sitting. Great. Then let's come back over and take either puppy or downward facing dog. Great. Inhale, forward. There's plank for some of you. And then the knees touch down. And we'll take child's pose for a moment. Sit bones toward the heels. And then walk the hands back. Okay. All right. Pondering. Yeah. So some of us, I'm going to give you a couple options here. Some of us are going to take a blanket, put it on the ground to go under the pelvis. And then we're going to take our blocks to be a little angled, so they're not going to be like this, but they're a little bit angled. Those are going to be for the forearms. So some of us, that'll be the setup. That'll be the setup that we're going to do because we're going to go to cupping the hands like shoulders, like a headstand, and taking a forearm plank. Some of us will do this. I'll show you another option. A lot of tone in the abdominals, inner thighs. Then, as I come forward, I'm going to start to lift through the top of the breastbone. Manubrium. I'm coming forward. Breastbone. Okay, yeah. I forgot for a second, didn't I? So some of us will be doing this version. Okay? The others of you, I'm going to encourage, if that's too much, to be, doing that motion either for the lumbar spine, the low back, or the elbows. Then what you might enjoy more would be coming down to take Sphinx pose, where you're lined up from the wrists to the elbows to the shoulders. And in this one, you're going to tone the belly so you feel the low belly lift away from the ground. Broaden right there so you feel support for the low back. And then start to lift. So you'll do the Sphinx pose with the manubrium lifting, belly still lifted, heart coming forward, belly still toned. Okay? Can you pick one of those two? And if you have a question, you can ask a question. And if you want me to see you in it, I'll come over and see if I can see any of you in it. if I can give you any feedback, I will offer that to you. Questions? You're either going to go into, I can talk you through the forearm move first. Those of you that want to do that, place the forearms on the blocks. Have the blocks just like you've got them there, Diane. You clasp the hands. Yep, that's it. If we're doing the forearm version. And then if you're not, there you go, Evelyn. So you're in a forearm plank. If you're in that forearm plank, I want you to very, very much tone the deep abdominals. Wrap them all the way around the midline. Really feel that lift come all the way up. Good. That's it. That's it. That's it, Lise. And then bring the elbows a tiny bit closer, Lise, for space. There you go. Palms on the ground. Yeah. Okay, those of you in forearm plank, you're still pressing into the widest part of your forearm. And now you're going to start to take your manubrium forward. If you're in Sphinx, you've toned the belly. So you feel the belly toned. Yeah. Good. And all of you are lifting through the manubrium, top of the breastbone. Think of the transverse processes, the little sticky outy bits at the back of the spine. Can they be rising upward as you slowly let the pelvis touch down to the blanket? Yeah, good. There's so much effort in both of these poses to keep this lift at the top of the breastbone, a broadness across. The pelvis has found some support by now. Good. That's it. That's it. Or can ribs 1, 2 roll up? Can they roll up? That's right, Anne. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Good. That's good. That's good. Great. And you might, Lise, can you broaden a little more right across from the manubrium and the sides of your sternum? Just slightly. Yeah. Good. And then we'll release that and you'll press yourself up, back to child's pose. You can stack the forearms or hands or fists or whatever underneath the forehead. Lengthening through the lumbar spine. All right, and then let's walk the hands back. And we're gonna have a strap, if you've got a strap or a belt, right? And we're gonna set up for a bridge pose, a supported bridge. Oops, I gotta point my camera down a little. So you're gonna want, I like to do it, if you've got a blanket, then let's put the blanket to go underneath your shoulders. So I'm going to put my blanket down. I know that my head's going to be on the ground. I want to know where my blocks are, and I want to know where my strap is. So that when I come down now, you're going to lie back on the blanket, but you'll have the head on the floor, the shoulders on the blanket. No weight, so C7, base and the neck's on the blanket. And then let's go ahead and take, lift the pelvis and put 1 block, maybe 2 blocks under the pelvis. That's probably good for today because we did some lunges, but we might still have some tightness at the front of the hip joint. I'm going to take my strap beyond my blocks. Hands in the strap, palms facing the midline. And I remember this from when we were standing earlier. That can I lift through the breastbone again? Can I still broaden from the top of the breastbone to the collarbones? Can I roll ribs 1 and 2 up? Boy, when I do, I realize, man, I got more height I need here. So I'm going to put my second block even a little taller. I feel that, feel like I need that height. Because once I really lift ribs 1, 2 up, yeah, I can feel more grounded through my shoulders. I could stay here, and I am actively lifting the chest. I might lift the legs. And I'm going to keep that lift at the top of the breastbone, ribs 1, 2. My eyes might be closed, but my eyeballs are turning towards my heart. Can you imagine someone coming with their hand and just putting it behind the heart and not pushing into the heart, but giving just a little lift? And then we'll bend the knees. Bring the feet back to the floor. Take the hands out of the strap. Press into the feet, lift the hips. Remove one of the blocks and rest for a second. And then as I take away my second block, I'm going to walk my hips onto my blanket. So I'll make sure my hips are on my blanket and my head and shoulders on the ground. Keeping the knees bent, feet on the floor. All right, very good. Okay, let's roll over to one side and use your arms to push yourself up. Okay, let's sit on the ground for this. So this is Marichyasana, but we're gonna sit on the ground to do this one. So if you'll straighten your right leg and bend your left knee. And then you're gonna bring your left hand behind you. You're just turning toward the left, towards the bent knee. And back to center. Let's switch sides. Right hand behind you, twisting. Back to center. And then you're going to come onto your back again. This time, cross your, let's see, left leg. So the little toe side of the left foot and heel across the right knee. Arms out wide. And with the exhale, lower body's going to the right. So you could put a block. If this foot doesn't touch the ground, put a block there. And will the hips allow the shin to come toward vertical? The left shoulder's back on the ground. My gaze might be either to the sky or to the left. We're going to come back up to center. Take the second side, crossing over, tilt. Back to center. Undo the knees. Here you are in midline. Can we take happy baby, either with hands at the backs of the thighs or the outer shins, maybe the little toe side of the feet. And you can play a little bit with like, how wide do I want my knees today? With what's the relationship of the width of the knees to the low back sacrum area? So if you take your knees a little closer toward each other, all right, very good. And then you're going to bring that to Shavasana. So you could always put a blanket under the knees to lie back and rest. And then allowing your breath to deepen. And just gently bringing a little movement back to the body. And then making a mindful transition over to one side. Using the support of your arms to come back up to sitting. And then we're going to take the B breath. So you're welcome to join me. You're going to bring the hands up so that the thumbs will be ready to plug the ears. The hands can just rest on the skull. So to begin with, let's just, this is the hum in a moment, but let's go ahead and inhale through both nostrils and exhale out both nostrils. And then when you're ready, inhale through the nostrils, plug the ears, bring in the hum. Two more. At the bottom of that next exhale, you're welcome to just bring the hands down. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.